Hey man, welcome. I
Thank you
appreciate
for
you
having
taking
me.
time to chat with me and the audience. I like your glasses.
I like yours as well.
um, so I just want to jump right into it. Can you just tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do?
Sure. Well, you see, I have my full, as I say, my full government on the screen there. Ever since I got married, I use my full name, but I'm Reginald Kong-Middleton. People know me as Reggie, and there are those who call me Reginald. But I am um, owner and CEO of Reginald Middleton Enterprises, doing business as Army Tax Prep. And what I provide are accounting and tax services to small, medium, and large businesses.
Nice, nice. So how
Yes.
long have you been doing
Wow. So now you're making me tell my age, Kendall.
that? Age
So
is wisdom. Age is wisdom.
yes, absolutely. Can't you see my glasses? So yeah, I've been doing this. Well, my accounting career is well over 35 years.
Nice.
Yeah, starting in corporate accounting and all of that. Um, my business, I officially incorporated in 2014, if you will, but I had been doing this before. So if we do the math, what's that? Wow, is that
7 years.
almost 10 years, 9, 10 years incorporated, but I've been doing this before.
Got it.
Right.
Nice, nice, nice.
Mhm.
So what made you take that leap of faith and
Wow.
jump into being an entrepreneur and running your own operation?
Sure. So I always kind of knew, even when I graduated college way back when, I always kind of knew that the corporate arena wasn't for me. Um, but I respect it. And it's because of having that strong corporate background, from the late 80s, the 90s, the 2000s. That's when everyone, was getting up, going to work, and you sat in a cube, and that was discipline. And so that's what propelled me, not my complete dislike, because I had great experience, but I always wanted to be more than the cubicle. I knew my knowledge went beyond the cubicle that I was given, and God blessed me to um, take the leap and go to graduate school and stay in graduate school full time. And I acquired my master's in taxation because I always loved taxation, and then I acquired my master's in accounting, and here I am. Just that simple. I mean, of course, there's a lot in between, but we don't
Sure,
have
sure.
much time. But that's basically it. Yeah,
Now we want to know everything,
I
man.
know, right?
No, so that's a great segue into a question that I always ask, and I think you started to answer it. What do you truly love?
Wow. You know what? I love, this is what I love. I love talking, consultation. I love that. I love to see how what I give to people, how it changes their lives.
Hmm,
That is just, I can't even put a price tag on that. I
hmm,
could do the accounting, I could do the taxation. We have these wonderful programs that we use that can do all of that for us. Of course, you got to know what you put in, because what you put in could spit out the wrong thing.
correct.
But this is what I love. And I find that my business now is more consultation, and having my clients elevate and giving them which is, I know is inside of them, and I know it's inside of me.
Mhm.
And then we sit back, and it's almost like I told you so, in a
I,
good way.
I
Yeah.
I I love being able to have that moment, right?
Right.
Where
Right.
things come full circle, right?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah,
Yes, yes. You
yeah,
sit back, and full circle for me, because accountants, I always say to my clients, if you see that there's money in your bank account, then that means I'm doing my job.
right.
So they get their loans, they fill this out correctly, they know how to correspond, say, with the Internal Revenue Service, with New York State,
Mm.
with whomever, that they, whatever they need in order to move their businesses forward, I'm there to help them and give them advice, and they take off and they go with it.
All
Got
right.
it. Hmm.
So I've learned the hard way, right?
Mhm.
And this is my personal opinion. My partner, we argue all the time about this, but I'm a firm believer that every client isn't the right client, right? And for various reasons, it could be something, on their end. It could be something about me, who I am as an individual. It could be something about my business as an entity and what we offer and what we do not offer. I think it's important to have the clarity of
Mm.
what we offer and this is what we do not offer, right? With that being said, who would you say is your ideal client? Who's your golden client?
Wow. That's a very good question. I don't have a golden client. I don't know the person until he or she, we have a conversation.
Mhm.
Most of my clients actually come by referrals.
Oh, that's a great thing.
Yes.
That's a
So
great thing.
my business has been built on referrals.
Nice.
My business, and I would say I'm pretty darn successful. But to get back to what you were saying, um, this is my motto. No matter how busy I am, and if a client calls me, that client is 100% my attention. I
Mhm.
will never say to a client, an individual or a business client, oh, I can't get to that right now,
Mhm.
if you will, because of another client.
Mhm.
I'll say to them, I'll turn it back to them and say, well, how important is this?
Mm.
And I usually know how important things are, but
That's
I
a
will
great
never
question.
say to a client, I can't do this because I have X, Y, and Z client, things ahead of you or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Okay. That's one. Um, we start out with great relationships. What I think is a good relationship, because I think I feed them so much information that they want to come and be a part of RME Tax Prep.
Got it.
You're absolutely right. The decision making at the end belongs to the client.
Mhm.
I can offer up everything, as far as how to do this, how to do that, make sure you do this, do that. But if a client has other motives or what have you, and I'm not saying motives are bad, um, then that's as far as I think I can go. I've had
Mhm.
clients where we've had to part ways because they had another agenda, or they wanted me to be a little bit more than what I was offering.
Mhm.
But in the end, I know that I left them in a better position than when we started. So,
Nice.
relationships, you know, they, for whatever reason, they end. But for the most part, I've retained, my average client is about, say, 5 to 10 years.
Wow.
Seriously.
Wow.
And I mean, it's so bad that when they cannot get to me, I mean, it's almost like they get an attitude. Seriously. They text, they call, because sometimes, my phone is right there and I'll just have to ignore and let that little woman that comes on and answers my calls and takes the messages. But I'll eventually get back to them. I really will. And then, Reggie, is everything okay? Like, they're concerned about me personally.
So it's family. It sounds like
It really has become a family.
that's awesome.
It really has, because of the referral. Because
Mhm.
of the referrals are usually family, friends, good friends, business associates, and so we bring all of that, into one. So that's the Army Tax Prep family.
Nice. I love
Yes.
that. I love that. So you just kind of, without even trying, you drop some jewels that I think would is important for entrepreneurs in general,
Mhm.
right? What is your philosophy around handling your customers,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
Um, Customer acquisition. What's your philosophy around it, if you have one?
It's simply, we can go Bible, we can go natural. Be nice. Seriously, be nice. Adopt a tone of that. No matter what the client says, it's not a stupid thing.
Mhm. And
Let
it's not
them,
personal.
right. Let them express themselves.
Mhm.
Let them express themselves the way that they understand it. Because a lot of times they'll have the knowledge, what happens in my business, what I like to say is that I get these, I always call it parking lot
Mhm.
prophets or preachers when it comes to accounting and taxation, and especially during the, and I know other tax professionals can co-sign on to this. Oh my God, during tax season, everybody knows what there is to do when it comes to tax preparation.
Uh-huh.
And so I have to like deprogram them. I also have to tell them, don't tell me what someone else said to you, and don't tell me what someone else's outcome was on their return, if you will.
Right. It's a
Don't.
unique
It's
situation.
a unique situation.
Right.
That person may have 5 kids, be head of household. That's a totally different situation than you being single and codependent, right? So I deprogram them. But another thing, Kendall, what I do is I don't pretend to be a know-it-all with
Mm,
my clients. I do
mm,
not. I tell them that taxation and accounting is this big.
mhm.
And if there's a situation that they may have, I'll try to give as much knowledge as I have on the subject, but I will say to them, let me do some research
Nice.
and get back to you. Because you know what? That's pride. If you feel like you know everything, that's pride. And the Bible
Right.
says pride comes before your
Mm,
downfall. So I try to get rid of pride and just be as, as we are talking now, have that type of conversation with them. And I believe they appreciate that.
yeah, I appreciate that. And
Mhm.
that's very humbling, right? Recognizing that you
It
have
is.
35 years
Right.
of experience and you
Right.
and you still can
Yes.
take that approach, right? And
Mhm.
and that in order to be a good leader, you have to be a good student. In
Mhm.
order to be a good teacher, you
Yes.
have to be a good student.
Yes,
And I
preach.
just think
Yes.
I really, really appreciate that posture.
Yes.
So
Absolutely. Right. Yeah. Maya Angelou said, and I'm paraphrasing again, she said, was it? Yeah, it was her. If you think you know everything, then you're getting old. Like something to that. Like to say, it's always something new that you can learn every single
mhm,
day. Every single day. And in this business, I'm learning something new every single day. I really am, and how I'm doing this and seeing the outcomes for persons that I'm working with, and especially my commercial clients.
mhm,
Yeah, it's always exciting for me to see where their businesses are poised to go.
mhm. And tax code changes pretty regularly,
Oh my
right?
goodness,
Not
tax
just the
code changes every single year. Trust
every
me,
single
I
year.
know. I have to spend a lot of money on the same program every year because the United States government changes the tax code every year. And that's how
Uh,
companies, tax program who provides this tax software, that's how they make money. You would think that we could do a little simple update.
mhm.
No, they make me purchase the entire program every year
Wow.
because of the right.
Wow.
Our tax code is probably the most, not probably, it is, I'm going to make this, it is the most complicated tax code in the world.
I believe that.
I believe that.
I believe that.
Absolutely. And so for that reason, yeah, I have to buy a new program every year.
I can stay on this topic because
Hmm.
being a know-it-all translates in different ways, right? It may translate into you not wanting to hear someone fully out.
Hmm.
You know what they're going to say. We
Yes.
talked about that already,
Right.
right?
Right.
Um, Not only that, it may translate into you giving advice that's unsolicited, right?
Hmm.
I know best, right? And sometimes
Yes.
we don't check the facts of that
Mhm.
scenario. So
Correct.
there's so much that I can say about that. And I really appreciate your
Yes.
posture on that. I want to ask you some very specific questions
Okay.
about tax, right? So
Mhm.
I know, right, because part of my offer is around marketing, content development, etc. So I have a few folk that I am trying to support that have reached out to me last minute. They're concerned about
Mhm.
services and products being ready for marketing come Black Friday,
Mhm.
Cyber Monday,
Right.
Giving Tuesday, right?
Right.
Um, but at this point, they're a little behind the ball,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And I think the same, you may be experiencing similar things as it pertains to tax, right? I know that a deadline just passed.
Yes.
right? Can you
Right.
just forget it, right? If someone, missed the deadline, not the end of the world, there's things that they can do, right? But in terms of ending this year strong
Right.
and starting next year, 2024,
Mhm.
on solid ground and strong footing, can you speak to any of that from a financial accounting perspective?
Sure. So yeah, you mentioned that there was a tax deadline. You're absolutely right. October 16th, Monday, this past Monday,
Mhm.
was the 6-month extension deadline for individuals and corporations. Um, and I was here working to the late night hour to get those returns of those who had followed up with me, for those extensions. Now, I have to admit, there are a lot of, not a lot, but there are a few of my clients that did not make that extension date.
Mhm.
However, the Internal Revenue Service in New York State are still accepting returns electronically.
Okay.
So as we hear that, April 15th is a deadline, March 15th for, say, S corporations and partnerships, and you got April 15th for individuals and corporations. If you're not on an extension, then you have September 15th, I think, um, for 990s, for nonprofits, all of that, right? I know all the extension deadlines, right? But it's never too late to get right. It's
Mhm.
never too late.
I
Never,
love that.
never think that you have run out of time or the IRS won't accept this or New York State or whatever. It's never too late.
Mhm.
Position yourself, start over. If you reach out to me, I'm a professional. If you reach out to another professional, but really, again, just tell it all. Say where you are, what you would like to accomplish. Just be clear as to what you would like to accomplish. And I believe that professional will guide you in that right direction. Um, Fourth quarter is key. I say first and fourth quarter are the key quarters. Of course, first quarter in the beginning. So you
Mhm.
have to start out right. That second quarter is spring, leading into summer, still on course from the first quarter. Third quarter, forget it. Everybody goes on vacation. It's hard to work during the summer. But if you've had a good first and second,
Right.
then third should be a residual of that. Now here we go. That fourth quarter. Everybody's back at work, everybody's back at school, vacation is over. It's September, right? Gonna lead into October. That's why Macy's puts on its great Thanksgiving Day parade. Follow that example. I forget the percentage, but can we go as high as maybe 60, 70, 80% that Macy's makes its profits during that fourth quarter? That's
Mhm.
why Christmas season is so important. So
Mhm.
follow that model. That means just get right, kind of tighten up everything. Talk to a tax professional. Reach out and say, hey, I haven't paid my taxes. See, look at your budget and see if you can make estimated tax payments. The IRS is always willing to take your money. You can go to IRS.gov and pay whatever it is, whatever you have stored up. Make a payment if that's the area that you need to correct. But
Uh,
get with a good tax professional. Get your financials done. Say if you haven't been on, like all of my clients, majority of them use QuickBooks,
mhm.
right? Say if you've never had any financial software, get on a financial software and get all of the material in front of you and look and see where you are. And you can get, do your profit and loss statement, your balance sheets, get that done so you can see exactly where you are and what you can do really in those next 2 to 3 months to sort of correct things and position yourself like, okay, I need to correct this. So when 2024, as we're speaking now, comes into play, then you're positioned correctly. So the key is to really get with a tax professional, an accounting and tax professional, and just lay it all out. Just be honest with yourself and lay it all out. And I guarantee you, if you do that and he or she is a good fit, you're all a good fit for each other, I guarantee you you'll come out with a strong 2023 and then start off, even better with 2024.
That's great advice. So I have a bunch of more questions, and this won't
Yes.
be the last. This won't be the last one. This is a great start. I so you seem unique in terms of how you present yourself in the accounting world. I think when what most people think of in terms of a relationship with an accountant, it is very transactional. It's not
Yes.
it's not relational, right? So to feel comfortable laying it all out and almost thinking of it as a relationship, not a one time or two time
Mhm,
transaction,
mhm,
um, I think is unique
mhm.
to you as an individual.
Right.
Can you speak to us about how to transcend
Mhm,
what we think of as the typical relationship between a client
mhm.
and an accountant, right? Because I personally I can say, I've had an accountant one year and then another accountant the next year, right? So
Right,
they
right,
don't stay, we don't keep accountants 5, 10 years, right?
right,
And it seems like you have something that works. Can you
right.
speak a little bit to that?
Sure. I think you're absolutely right. Accounting and taxation is transactional. It's debits and credits all day, right?
Mhm.
That's accounting. You got your debits and your credits, your income statement, your balance sheet. If you want to do a cash flow statement, a statement of equity, fine. But it's transactional. At the end of the day, accounting is transactional. How do these transactions make sense, if you will? What I found with myself is that I know that, and I know I can do that. I know I can do that. But you're right. If you want to grow your business, it's just like any other line of business. Stores, advertisers, they want you to come back. So you have to be fresh. You got to be new. You have to sound fresh. You have to look the part. If I You have to look the part. You have to look like where people want to go.
Mm,
That's key. You have what we have all these sayings, fake it until you make it, I don't look like what I've been through, all of that, right? We could say all of that. But it's true. You have to look the part and so when people look at you, or if they're speaking to you, they're saying, oh wow, this person really knows what he is talking about. And and as far as me, I think I am unique because again, I know I bring something special. I really care. I think it transcends that I really care about people.
mm,
I really care about their situation.
mm.
The client that's paying me what they pay me as an individual is no less than a commercial client who's paying me a lot more on retainer.
I love that.
That's honest truth for me,
I
because
love
some of those commercial clients, whoa, but I can certainly get more enjoyment with an individual, if you
I
will,
love that.
if that's the right word to use. So yeah, Kendall, I just treat people the way I want to be treated. And now business, I do say to them now, all this wonderful information I gave you, I know you're going to come back to me next year. So I am about the business now. I'm not, just
I
being
love
preachy
it.
or whatever. But
I
at the
love
end of
it. Keep
the
it
day,
real.
I'm going to
That's
be
right.
like, okay, so now I know you're coming back to me. Now you better tell
That's
this
right.
person and that person and everybody else about who I am. Okay, Reggie, I will, that
I
sort of
love that.
thing. And I look up and it works because that's personality. That's
Mhm.
bringing in all of that technical, information that I just gave them. Now I'm bringing it down
I love it.
to a human level, to a one-on-one like we're having here, and say, all right, now I done gave you all this information, I haven't charged you. You better come to me next year. And yeah, and they come to me next year,
To,
the
to
year
sum it up into one sentence, how would you define your personal brand?
my personal
Brand.
brand. Wow,
That's a hard question,
that's a hard question.
but I think you have it.
Yeah, wow. Just being myself.
Mhm.
I think, right. We, like you just said, the accounting and taxation is transactional. I'm not a transaction. And I know for the most part, people don't want their accountant to be a transaction. They want personality. They want truth. They want truth. Being truthful.
Mhm.
Being truthful. No matter how it may hurt, but you got to tell the client the truth. I'm obligated. It's not me, but I'm
Mhm.
obligated by those who have authority over me, meaning the government. They have authority over me. They've empowered me to. I sign a pledge every year
Mhm.
to tell clients the truth, to know if a client is misrepresenting, tell them you're misrepresenting.
Mm.
So that's pretty much it.
Love it. So how do people get in contact with you if they want to have a conversation with you, if they want to become a client? How do they get in touch with you?
Well, I'm currently, because I've gotten spoiled by by referrals, and it's just the truth that I don't have a website, but we're going to work on that. However, and that's the truth, because it's all been referrals. So
Hey,
I mean,
some of the
Army
best businesses you
is the
won't find
best. Yeah.
online. Absolutely.
So I mean, if I can, I'll give out my email. My email is RME Tax Prep. Very easy. RME, the word tax, the word prep at gmail.com. That's the best way for you to get in contact with me at this point. And then we can go a step further and exchange numbers, but I don't want to give my number out
No,
just yet.
email is good. Email
I
is
don't
good.
want to do that. But yeah, Army Tax Prep at gmail.com is my business email, and I'll certainly respond to you within 24 to 48 hours, and we go from there.
I love it. Thank you so much for taking
Oh,
time
it's
out
been
to
my
chat with me.
pleasure. Wow, this has been great. Thank you. All right, take care. Bye bye.